In Oklahoma City, it feels like you can get all 4 seasons in a single week. So should we really be surprised when our furnaces act just as wild? In this explainer, we're going to break down the unique Oklahoma rules that your heating system lives by and what it all means for you.
All right, let's just jump right into it. Have you ever noticed your furnace just turning on and off for what feels like no reason at all? Or maybe it blows cold air on a day when you really need heat. If you're nodding your head right now, you are definitely not alone. And here's the kicker, your furnace probably isn't broken.
I mean, this quote right here just says it all, doesn't it? That is the Oklahoma experience. One day you're thinking about cracking a window, the next thing you know, you're digging out the heavy code because a massive cold front just blew in. This crazy variability, that's the heart of our whole story.
So, how does this weather whiplash actually affect your furnace? Why does it seem to work perfectly fine one day and then act totally bizarre the next? Yeah, that's the question every single one of us has asked ourselves when the system starts doing something weird during that first real cold snap of the year. And here it is, the big reveal. What looks like a total malfunction is often just your system's normal reaction to our abnormal weather. It's not broken. It's just playing by a completely different rule book. The real trick is learning what those rules are.
So where does all this weirdness come from? Well, it turns out you can trace pretty much all of this strange furnace behavior back to just 3 specific local factors.
Let's dive in and break them down.
First up is the one we've been talking about, our climate. Your furnace is constantly having to switch gears. On a mild 50-degree day, it's in light load mode. But when the temperature plummets to 20, it's got to go into heavy load operation. That constant back and forth is something systems in colder, more stable climates almost never have to do.
All right, factor number 2. It's all about where we put our ductwork. Get this, in something like 60 to 70% of homes around here, the ducts run through a freezing, unconditioned attic. Just think about that. Your furnace is working hard to make all this nice hot air, only for it to get seriously chilled on the long journey to actually reach you.
And finally, our systems are built for battle with the summer heat. They're sized to handle those scorching hot days, which means that for most of our pretty mild winter, the furnace is actually way oversized for the job. It's like trying to water a tiny little houseplant with a giant fire hose. Sure, it gets the job done, but it does it way too fast and it's super inefficient. Okay, so let's recap. We've got our 3 culprits: the wild climate, those chilly attic ducts, and our oversized systems. Now, let's connect the dots and see how this stuff actually shows up as frustrating symptoms inside your house. You ever hear your furnace kick on, run for just a handful of minutes, then shut right back off? Only to do it all over again 10 minutes later? Well, that has a name. It's called short cycling. It's the classic sign of an oversized furnace running on a mild day. Basically, it blasts so much heat so fast that it tricks the thermostat into thinking the job is done, long before the rest of the house has even warmed up. And boom, this is where it all clicks into place. That short cycling we just talked about, that's your oversized unit on a mild day. That blast of cold air you feel when it first kicks on, that's the fan pushing all the cooled-off air out of those long attic ducts. Some rooms that just never seem to get warm enough, you guessed it, heat loss from those same ducts. And your filters getting clogged up so fast, that's just classic Oklahoma wind and dust for you. It all traces back to those 3 factors. Okay, I need you to really listen to this next part, because it's without a doubt the most important thing we'll cover. We have to be absolutely crystal clear about the difference between a furnace that's just being annoying and one that's being genuinely dangerous. Every single homeowner needs to know this. And the distinction is really pretty simple. On one side, you've got comfort issues. Things like uneven heating, short cycling, or high bill. Yeah, they're annoying, but they can wait. On the other side, you have critical safety issues. You smell gas, your carbon monoxide detector is going off, or you can see something's wrong with the flame itself. Those are not wait-and-see problems. They are deal-with-it, right-now emergencies. So if you even suspect a safety issue, you don't hesitate. You follow these steps. Exactly. First, turn the system off at the thermostat. Second, if you smell that rotten egg gas smell, leave the house immediately. Get a safe distance away, then call your gas utility. After that, if you can, ventilate the area and call a qualified HVAC professional. Please do not try to fix these things yourself. Okay, deep breath. Now that we've covered the scary stuff and we all know how to stay safe, let's talk about how to use this knowledge of the Oklahoma rules to become smarter homeowners. This can seriously save you a lot of money and a lot of headaches down the road. So, let's tackle a big myth I hear all the time.
Your furnace hits that 15-year mark, and everybody starts telling you it's on its last legs, and you have to replace it, right? But does that national average really apply to us here?
Well, here in Oklahoma, that's just not the full story. See, those national averages are based on places with brutal, nonstop winters. Here, our furnaces get a lot more time off. That means less total runtime, less wear and tear. So what's the bottom line? Don't just look at the calendar to decide when to replace your unit. Get a pro to tell you the actual condition it's in.
And this totally changes how you should think about annual maintenance, too. For us, it's less about preventing wear and tear from constant heavy use. It's more like a readiness check, making sure the system is clean, safe, and ready to fire up without a hitch when that first Arctic front finally hits after months of it just sitting there.
So, at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one simple question. By understanding our crazy climate, our unique home construction, and the equipment we use, you can finally tell the difference. You now have the tools to know if your furnace is just acting like a typical Oklahoman or if it's genuinely asking for help. And that knowledge, right there, is the key to staying comfortable, safe, and in control of your home.